Bird flu is now infecting cats at a surprising rate, and it's evolving fast enough that scientists are now warning of a potential future pandemic that could affect humans. A first-of-its-kind global review done by researchers from the University of Maryland School of Public Health has uncovered over 600 cases of bird flu in cats worldwide. That's over the last 20 years. They range from household pets to tigers in zoos. More than half of those cases were fatal. According to Dr. Christine Coleman, the lead author of the study, the virus has evolved. It's now jumping from birds to cats, cows to cats, and even between cats. She warns that with summer approaching worldwide, cases are likely to rise again, both on farms and in the wild. Cats are catching the bird flu in several ways: by eating infected birds, raw chicken feed, or even drinking raw milk from infected cows, that is. The virus is also spreading between mammals, such as pet cats infecting other pets, or tigers passing it to other big cats. The symptoms in infected cats are severe, to name some: brain swelling, fever, and aggression. Many of these cases are mistaken for rabies, the most deadly strain of bird flu, that is the H5N1, now reportedly makes up the majority of infections in domestic cats and has a current case fatality rate of 90%. In humans, bird flu is slightly less deadly but still serious, killing around half of the 950 people who have been infected globally. And since April 2022, the US has reported 67 human cases and 1 death. What's worrying is that cats are rarely tested for bird flu. In most cases, the diagnosis happens only after death. Experts believe the real number of infections may be much higher. Scientists are especially worried about outbreaks in animal shelters and places where cats live in close quarters. If the virus enters shelters, it could spread rapidly and potentially infect humans, similar to a bird flu outbreak in New York City in 2016. So far, there are no confirmed cases of bird flu spreading from human to human, but researchers warn that as the virus continues to mutate, it may eventually become airborne, and that could change everything. Future research will focus on testing high-risk cat populations, especially farm cats, in the future. Are we living in a world of false comfort? We trust our technology, our satellites, our telescopes. We believe that they can help us see every threat that is coming our way at our Earth. But yesterday, a cosmic bullet whizzed past our planet, and almost no one and none of our telescopes had seen it coming. Our next report telling you more.
Asteroid. Silent, ancient, and unpredictable. Lurk in the vast darkness of our solar system. These cosmic wanderers are not just relics of creation. They are potential planet killers, capable of ending life as we know it in a single catastrophic strike. Humanity's confidence in its technology is misplaced. For all our telescopes, satellites, and observatories, we know shockingly little about the rocks hurtling past our fragile world. On May 21st, we got another wake-up call. A house-sized asteroid, designated 2025 KF, hurled past Earth at a blistering 41,600 kilometers per hour. At its closest approach, just 115,000 kilometers away, less than a third of the distance to the Moon. It zipped past our planet at 17:30 GMT on May 21. That's a cosmic near miss, a hair's breadth in astronomical terms. The most unsettling detail, we only spotted 2025 KF 2 days before its flyby. Despite a global network of sky-watching technology, this 32 to 75 foot wide space rock was discovered by astronomers in Chile's Atacama Desert on May 19. It slipped through the cosmic net until it was almost upon us. Had it been bigger or on a collision course, the warning would have come far too late. NASA assures us that 2025 KF posed no threat if it would have burnt up in Earth's atmosphere, if it had struck, but the late discovery is a stark reminder of how vulnerable we remain. There are nearly 40,000 known near-Earth asteroids, and about 4,700 are classified as potentially hazardous. Many more, like 2025 KF, are still hidden in the dark. Our planet's safety depends on constant vigilance and faster detection. But as yesterday's close shave proves, the universe is full of surprises. And the next asteroid may not give us a second chance. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
While we are on the Taliban, the United States Secretary of State Marco Rubio has said that the classification of the Taliban as a foreign terrorist organization is now under review. Rubio said that the State Department is weighing the designation attached to the Taliban as a part of a broader reassessment of U.S. policy towards Afghanistan. He added that while recent diplomatic efforts have secured the release of some detained Americans, concerns over Taliban's ties to Al-Qaeda and other armed groups, and thus the persisting threat factor still remains.
We're clearly aware of who they are and what they've done in the past. We'd like to see more cooperation from them on Al-Qaeda and other elements in the country that we'd like to see targeted. So I think that's part of a tool set the president has as leverage to increase cooperation on their part.
Recently, U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth ordered a comprehensive review of the United States military withdrawal from Afghanistan in 2021, which paved the way for the Taliban takeover. Currently, the Taliban are not listed as a foreign terrorist organization by the U.S. State Department. However, the group is subject to U.S. sanction under executive order. This also comes at a time when India, along with China and Pakistan, they have been seen making outreach efforts towards Afghanistan's rulers. And as far as the U.S. is concerned, it has refrained from having any diplomatic presence in Afghanistan for security issues. Rubio also emphasized U.S. President Donald Trump's ongoing interest in preventing Afghanistan from becoming a staging ground for attacks against the U.S. Meanwhile, a bill was also highlighted seeking to block U.S. taxpayer dollars from benefiting the Taliban, which could be collecting up to $5 billion annually from foreign aid and other revenue sources. U.S. President Donald Trump did it again. Once again, he welcomed a world leader to the Oval Office, only to ambush him diplomatically, and this time with a racially charged conspiracy theory. The guest in question was South African President Cyril Ramaphosa. However, Ramaphosa did not stay silent. It started like any other high-level bilateral meet with handshakes and golf talk. Then, Trump shocked his guests. Trump asked an aide to dim the lights and play a video that purportedly paints South Africa as a land of violence against white people.
How was your meeting with the Pope's brother yesterday? Great. Fantastic guy. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And they're fleeing South Africa, and it's it's a very sad thing to see. But I hope we can have an explanation of that, because I know you don't want that.
The video showed chaotic scenes, footage of opposition lawmaker Julius Malema chanting "Kill the Boer." Boer in South Africa refers to a farmer.
And in many cases, they're being killed. And that scene of
what you saw, the speeches that were being made, one, that is not government policy.
Ramaphosa, a former diplomat who helped Nelson Mandela end apartheid, was ambushed. But he did not take the bait. He remained calm, composed, almost amused After the video, he responded pointedly. He said South Africa did not endorse racial violence of any kind. He said that extremist voices like Malema's were not a part of his government. And he also said that his administration had distanced itself from that rhetoric completely.
Country give an airplane to the United States.
He even took a witty jab at Trump and said later that he was sorry that he could not give the US president a plane, a reference to Qatar's recent gift of a jetliner to Trump.
I'm sorry, I don't have a plane to give you.
I wish you did. I take it. I would take it. If your country offered the United States Air Force a plane, I would take it.
But let's now take a look at the facts. Is there a white genocide happening in South Africa? No. According to South African police, murders of farmers account for far fewer than 1% of all murders in South Africa. According to data compiled by the Transvaal Agriculture Union of South Africa, that is a farmers' union made up mostly of Afrikaners, there were 32 farm murders last year, down from 50 in 2023 and 43 in 2022. Furthermore, global human rights bodies, including the United Nations, have never recognized any campaign or pattern of violence targeting white farmers. White South Africans today make up just 7.3% of the population, but they still own 72% of private farmland, a result of decades of apartheid law. Yes, South Africa has wrestled with the question of land reform, and yes, it's controversial. But it's a policy debate rooted in equity and restitution, not racial revenge. US President Donald Trump, on the other hand, fast-tracked asylum for white South African refugees, while in the past closing the door on black migrants from countries like Somalia and Sudan.